My childhood friend, Chloe Vance, was about to go get a motel room with a burnout named Wyatt. Just as I was about to step in and stop her, a series of transparent captions started scrolling in front of my eyes. This villainous side character is so disgusting. Of course he's going to try and stop them. What a total turnoff. Seriously, can't the side piece just take a hint and get out of the way for the main character? I just jumped back from the ending. This guy doesn't just stop them. He tells her parents, forcing them to break up. The hero is heartbroken, spirals out, and gets some wannabe gangster girl pregnant. Then her foster brother accidentally kills him. The heroine goes full dark, burns the side character's whole family alive in a fire. And you know what? That ending is seriously satisfying. Reading those captions, the hand I had reached out to grab Chloe's arm dropped back to my side. Later, Wyatt still got the gangster girl pregnant. To save his own skin, he personally delivered Chloe Vance to the girl's foster brother's bed to make amends. Chloe was assaulted by a group of thugs, leaving her with a ruptured uterus and massive bleeding. Lying in a hospital bed, she screamed at me. Ethan, back then, when I was about to go to that motel with Wyatt, why didn't you stop me? I smiled, a real, genuine smile. Chloe, I said, didn't you bring all of this on yourself? One after school, Chloe and I were about to walk home together when Wyatt Shaw screeched to a halt in front of us in his beat-up, roaring Camaro, blocking our path. Chloe Vance, he smirked, leaning out the window. You said you were into me, right? If you come get a room with me right now, I'll make us official. I was about to grab Chloe's arm and tell her not to go, but then the captions materialized in my vision again. This villainous side character is so gross. He's totally going to try and stop this. Gives me the ick. For real, can't he just learn his place and let the hero have his moment? Wow, the hero is so hot in that rebellious bad boy way. And she's the school's queen bee. They look amazing together. I'm dying from the cuteness. I just skipped ahead from the finale. This side character doesn't just intervene. He narcs on them to her parents, which forces them to break up. The hero gets depressed, goes off the rails, and knocks up some local punk girl. Then her foster brother beats him to death. The heroine has a complete psychotic break, burns the side character's entire family alive in their house. And honestly, it's a damn satisfying ending. Yeah, that's what he gets for trying to keep the main couple apart. He's so toxic, he deserved it. This loser has zero self-awareness. The heroine has been into the hero for ages. She even has his initials tattooed on her arm. Does this side character seriously think she'd ever like him? Pathetic. A chill ran down my spine as I read the floating text. I grabbed Chloe's right arm and pushed up her sleeve. Sure enough, there it was, the initials W.S., tattooed in delicate script. Could what these captions were saying be real? Chloe and I grew up together. Every time I got something cool or a snack I loved, who was the first person I'd share it with? Her. This Wyatt guy might have a certain rugged charm, but he was nothing but a local punk. Getting into fights was his hobby, and his personal life was a revolving door. I wanted to stop her from getting involved with him. Sure, there was a part of me that was selfishly motivated, but I was also genuinely looking out for her, trying to keep her from walking straight into a dumpster fire. And this is how she'd repay me. Even if she wanted revenge, shouldn't she have gone after the gangster girl's family? What did I have to do with any of it? Chloe saw me staring at her arm and shoved me away. She glanced nervously at Wyatt's annoyed face, quickly pulled her sleeve down, and frowned at me. Ethan, what the hell? Are you trying to grope me in front of my boyfriend? Who do you think you are? Don't think just because we grew up together you can get handsy with me. Let me make this crystal clear. I could never like you. The only person I like is Wyatt. With that, she walked around and slid into the passenger seat of Wyatt's Camaro. Ethan, I'm warning you, she called out, her voice sharp. If you dare tell my parents about this, I will make you regret it. It was the first time in her entire life she'd ever spoken to me with such venom. It seemed she really was obsessed with this guy, willing to tear me down just to prove her loyalty to him. I finally believed it. The captions were probably telling the truth. This girl was a psycho under all that polish. Well, if she was so determined to jump into the fire, I might as well watch her burn. The thought made me crack a smile. Don't worry, I said, my voice breezy. I won't say a word. You two have fun. Chloe froze, clearly not expecting that reaction. Good. Glad you know your place. Wyatt sneered, giving me a triumphant look before peeling out, the sound of his engine rattling down the street as he drove off with our school's queen bee. What's going on? The side character is supposed to stop them. Why is the plot going off script? Ugh, man. He's smiling now, but I bet his heart is bleeding, right? OMG, the main couple is finally gonna hook up? I'm so excited. I ignored the floating text and headed home. The next day, I went to my homeroom teacher and asked to change seats, using the excuse that I couldn't see the board. Chloe marched over to my new desk, her expression sour. Ethan, why did you switch seats without even talking to me about it? I kept my voice flat. It's nothing. I couldn't see from the back, so I moved up front. We've always sat together. We're childhood friends. What are people going to think about me now that you've suddenly moved? Then, as if a thought struck her, a sly smile played on her lips. Wait, she teased. Are you mad because I didn't walk home with you yesterday? No, I'm not getting involved in your business. From now on, let's just go our separate ways. That's all. Chloe giggled. She leaned in close, her voice a whisper in my ear. Ha, you say you're not mad, but you're totally jealous, aren't you? A light breeze shifted her hair, the strands brushing against my cheek, making it itch. Her breath, warm and faintly sweet, ghosted across my skin. Before, a moment like this would have made my face burn and my heart race. But now, her calculated attempts at flirting just made me feel sick. I immediately pulled away, putting distance between us. Stop playing games, I said, my tone sharp. I'm not falling for that act anymore. Do me a favor and stay away from me from now on. She stared at me, her face a mask of disbelief. Ethan, what is that supposed to mean? I met her gaze coldly. Isn't it obvious? I want you to leave me alone. Chloe's face darkened instantly, her voice rising. Ethan, are you seriously treating me like this just because I'm with Wyatt now? The whole class turned to stare at us. There were still a few minutes before the bell, so I ignored her, grabbed a basketball from under my desk, and walked out of the classroom. Chloe stomped her foot in frustration, her voice laced with anger and wounded pride. Ethan, don't you dare regret this. Yeah, right? Better to stay far away from a psycho like her. This villainous side character is something else. He's just putting on an act to get the heroine's attention. So cringy. Exactly. He used to follow her around like a simp. He really thinks changing his strategy is going to work. The plot feels different from the original story. Is this an adaptation? 3. I spend the next few weeks completely ignoring Chloe, pouring all my energy into studying. My grades had always been pretty good, usually ranking in the top 30 of our class. Now that I wasn't distracted by her, my focus sharpened and my scores started to climb. I was already breaking into the top 20. With college applications just a few months away, if I really pushed myself, I might have a shot at an Ivy League school. One evening, I was at home studying. My parents, who own a small convenience store, wouldn't be back until late. My phone rang. It was Chloe's mom. Ethan, you took our Chloe to the movies. Why aren't you back yet? Do you know what time it is? Her voice was a torrent of accusations. Honestly, you too. You've been dragging our Chloe out every single night. College applications are right around the corner. This is a critical time. You should be focused on your studies. If you want to fool around, fine, but don't you dare drag my daughter down with you. Besides, you're both older now. You can't be stuck at the hip all the time, you know? I was fuming. So Chloe was spending every night getting a room with Wyatt and using me as her alibi. Ever since we were kids, Chloe knew how to be sweet and win over adults. In their eyes, she was the perfect, well-behaved daughter. Whenever she got into trouble, she'd pin it on me. When she broke a vase in her house, she told her parents I did it when I was over. When she killed her dad's prized orchid, she said I poured hot water on it. It got worse as we got older. She skipped school to play pool, stole money to go to clubs, went to concerts, and told her parents I was the one who'd talk her into it every single time. She used my crush on her to her advantage, throwing me under the bus again and again. My anger never lasted long. She could always win me back over with a bit of sweet talk. But I had drawn a line. How could she still be blaming me for her messes? Mrs. Vance, I said, my voice tight, Chloe isn't with me. I've been home studying every night for the past few weeks. There was a pause on the other end. Then her tone turned sharp and angry. Ethan, you've been a liar since you were a little boy. Don't try to fool me. Just put that girl on the phone right now. My own temper flared. Mrs. Vance, I've already told you. She's not here. If you can't find her, I suggest you call the police. I hung up. A few minutes later, someone was banging on our front door. I opened it, and sure enough, it was Chloe's mom. Her face was grim as she pushed past me into the house. "Chloe Vance, you get out here right now." After searching every room and finding no one, she left, muttering curses under her breath. The moment I got to class the next morning, Chloe stormed over to my desk. Slam! She grabbed a textbook from my desk and slammed it down hard. The loud bang made everyone in the room jump. All eyes were on us. "Ethan," she hissed through clenched teeth, her face pale with rage. "What was that last night? Why did you snitch on me to my mom?" I looked at her face, twisted with anger, and let out a short, mocking laugh. "Snitch on you? About what? About you going to a motel with Wyatt? Or about you using me as your alibi? Chloe, you got some nerve. You're the one who made the mess, and now you're trying to blame me for it." Whispers erupted around the classroom as my words sank in. Chloe's face turned an even darker shade of furious. She suddenly swung her hand, aiming to slap me across the face. I was faster. I caught her wrist in a tight grip. "Let go of me!" she shrieked, struggling violently, her eyes filled with pure hatred. "No," I held on, my voice like ice. "Chloe, for years, because we were childhood friends, I let you walk all over me. I let you blame me for everything you did wrong. But I'm done being your scapegoat. You know exactly what kind of crap you've been pulling." "You're lying," she screamed. "I trusted you. That's why I let you cover for me. And you just turned around and sold me out. You're just jealous that I'm with Wyatt. You can't stand to see me happy." "Jealous of you?" I let go of her wrist and scoffed. "Am I jealous that you're hanging out with Wyatt and his gang of thugs every day? Or am I jealous that you steal money and skip school? Chloe, stop thinking everyone is as stupid as you are. You." Chloe was trembling with rage. "Ethan, you will regret this." She turned and ran out of the classroom, leaving a wave of gossip in her wake. The side character is so toxic. He just can't stand seeing the heroine happy. Just because he can't have her anymore, he immediately turns on her after years of covering for her. What a turnoff. Wait, but he's been taking the blame for her since they were kids. How am I supposed to not feel bad for him? Is what the heroine is doing really okay? What's wrong with you? He's just a side character, a simp. He should be dedicating his life to her. How dare he treat her like this? It was time for mock exams. As I was concentrating on a problem, the student behind me suddenly raised his hand. "Teacher, I saw Ethan Thorne cheating. He has a cheat sheet in his desk drawer." The teacher walked over and, sure enough, pulled a small, folded piece of paper from my desk. I glanced back at the student. His name was Preston King. Chloe was the school's queen bee and had no shortage of admirers. Preston was one of them. He'd always seen me as a rival. But now, everyone in school knew Chloe and I were practically at war. There was no reason for him to frame me, unless Chloe put him up to it. "Sir, that's not mine," I said calmly. "I've been focused on my test. I didn't even know that was in there." "Sure you didn't," Preston sneered. "Your grades have been shooting up lately. Maybe this is why." Other students started murmuring, turning to look at us. I remained perfectly calm. "Sir, may I see the notes on that paper?" The teacher nodded. "This isn't even my handwriting," I said, laying my test paper on the desk for him to compare. Although the note was an attempt to mimic my writing, the effort was too deliberate, too forced. It wasn't a very good imitation. A quick comparison made the difference obvious. "Preston," I said, turning to him. "I didn't know this cheat sheet existed, and I never took it out. So how did you know it was there?" Preston froze, a flicker of panic in his eyes. I saw you put it in there." I laughed derisively. "Still won't admit it. Still letting someone else use you as their weapon? I can't tell if you're smart or just incredibly stupid." I looked back at the teacher. Every classroom has a security camera. A quick check will show what really happened. The color drained from Preston's face. I had always been a good student. I had no reason to cheat. The teacher, who had trusted me up to this point, had let me defend myself without interruption. Now, seeing Preston's guilty expression, he knew exactly what was going on. Preston was immediately taken to the principal's office for questioning. I never thought Chloe would stoop to such a low-down trick. Our school was a top-tier prep school with a zero-tolerance policy on cheating. Even with my good record, getting caught could have led to suspension or even expulsion. It was a risky move, but if it had worked, it would have destroyed my academic future. Preston, to his credit, was tough. He took all the blame himself. In the end, his parents had to come to the school and beg for leniency, and he got off with a formal reprimand on his record. "You got lucky this time, Ethan," Chloe said to me later, a smug smile on her face that didn't hide the venom in her eyes. "You might not be so lucky next time." Perhaps she had always been this malicious. "I'm so pissed. The villainous side character got away with it. The heroine is just too merciful." The heroine is constantly trying to frame the side character. Is this really her personality? Seriously, they're seniors in high school, and she's running off to motels with some burnout from off campus. Is that really good look? What do you people know? It's true love. True love doesn't care about what society thinks. Besides, if the side character had just cooperated and lied to her parents, she wouldn't have gotten yelled at so badly. He totally had it coming. Chloe's grades, once solidly in the top 50, would have easily gotten her into a good state university. After this last exam, her rank plummeted to below the top 100. Our homeroom teacher called her in for a talk that same day. The gossip among the other students was relentless. "I heard she's hanging out with that burnout crew all the time. That Wyatt guy is always roaring up to the school gates in that old muscle car. He's got some seriously intimidating tattoos. She's the queen bee of Northgate High, and she's got the grades. Why would she fall for a guy like that? I used to think she was so innocent. Turns out she's just trash, going to motels with that guy every other day. I heard she's even the one paying for the rooms. Pathetic." A wave of laughter spread through the classroom. Despite the warning from our teacher, Chloe didn't change a thing. Skipping classes and cutting school became her new normal, and her makeup got heavier and heavier. Finally, the teacher had no choice but to call her parents. Chloe's mom was furious. "You used to be such a good kid. What happened to you? Is this how you repay us?" she screamed, her body trembling with rage and disappointment before she slapped Chloe across the face. I saw Mr. and Mrs. Vance leaving the teacher's office later, bowing their heads apologetically. "We're so sorry. It's our fault for not raising her better. We'll talk to her, we promise. Please don't give up on her." Our teacher just looked exhausted. "Chloe used to be a good student. We're so close to graduation. You have to stay on top of her. If this continues, you're going to lose her completely." Mr. Vance nodded grimly and grabbed Chloe's arm. "Let's go." As he dragged her away, her cheek red and swollen, her eyes looked vacant. Then she saw me, and her face contorted with rage. "It was you," she shrieked. "Ethan, you told the teacher on me." I almost laughed. "Are you serious? You skip class, you cut school, you show up looking like you're going to a club, and your grades are in the toilet. Everyone can see it. Our teacher isn't an idiot. How is that my fault?" Her dad, embarrassed, pulled her harder. "Haven't you made enough of a scene?" Unable to break free, Chloe twisted her head around and glared at me. "It was you, Ethan. Just you wait. You villainous side character. You just wait." I didn't expect her revenge to come so quickly. When I got home from school that day, I found my parents sitting on the sofa, their faces grim. A terrible feeling washed over me. They should have been at the store at this hour. My dad's face was dark. "Ethan, tell me the truth. Chloe's pregnant. Is it yours?" I was stunned into silence. My mom explained, her voice trembling slightly. "Her mother just called. She said Chloe is over a month pregnant, and she confessed that you're the father." A hot rage shot through me. Before I could even speak, there was a loud banging on the front door. "Ethan Thorne, you get out here. I'm pregnant, and you have to take responsibility." When my dad opened the door, Mr. and Mrs. Vance were standing there, staring daggers at me. Chloe was sobbing uncontrollably. "Ethan, don't you dare try to deny it. You were always so handsy with me growing up," she wailed, tears streaming down her face. "And then that time I came over to your house a month ago, you sob." Chloe could turn on the waterworks at will, looking utterly pitiful, paired with the perfect, innocent image she'd cultivated for years. For a moment, even my own parents looked like they might believe her. "I always thought of you as a brother, but you did this to me? I'm still in high school, and I'm pregnant with your baby. Sob. I don't want to live anymore. And you're still denying it. Are you even human?" I couldn't believe it. I never thought she would stoop so low as to sling this kind of mud at me. I knew I had to stay calm. "Ethan, look what you've done." Chloe's dad lunged forward and grabbed the collar of my shirt, ready to punch me. My parents rushed to pull him back. I met his furious gaze without flinching. Call the police, I said. Anything I said would be useless. They were too invested in Chloe's innocent act. I would be trapped trying to prove a negative. If I couldn't explain my way out of it, I'd let the authorities handle it. Everyone froze, staring at me. I won't admit to something I didn't do. I stated clearly. Let the police sort it out. Hearing the conviction in my voice, my parents exchanged a look. They sensed something was wrong. Chloe, however, started to panic. Ethan, you're so cruel. You're just trying to ruin me, she cried. If the police get involved, my reputation will be destroyed. How could I ever show my face again? I can't go on, I'm just going to die. With that, she turned and lunged toward the wall. Her mother screamed and rushed to grab her. Oh God, what did we ever do to deserve this? Chloe's dad forgot about me and scrambled to restrain his precious daughter. His forehead veins bulged, his eyes were bloodshot. He turned and roared at me. Ethan, look at what you've done. If my daughter dies, I'll make sure your whole family pays for it. That was it. The line had been crossed. The friendship between our families was officially over, which was exactly what I wanted. Chloe was a psycho, and I wanted nothing more than for our families to be done with each other. My own parents' faces hardened with anger. Mr. Vance, how can you say that? My dad shot back. You haven't even figured out what happened, and you're throwing accusations at our son. Fine, let's call the police. When push came to shove, my parents were on my side. My calm demeanor only strengthened their belief that something was off. I slowly walked over to Chloe, my expression one of deep disappointment. Chloe, I can honestly say I've never done anything to wrong you our entire lives. If you continue to slander me like this, then calling the police is the only option. Once they're involved, they can check motel records, they can do a paternity test. Everything will come out. Are you sure you want to take it that far? The color drained from Chloe's face. She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. Ethan, if it wasn't you, who was it? I'm telling the truth, she mumbled, but her voice was weak, betraying her lack of confidence. Her parents exchanged a worried glance, their certainty wavering. Chloe, I wanted to let you keep some dignity, but you've pushed me again and again. You leave me no choice. I pulled out my phone and showed them the photos and videos Wyatt had sent me to taunt me. The images were graphic. The Chloe in the videos was crude and promiscuous, a universe away from the sweet, innocent girl they all knew. The filthy language coming out of her mouth was something neither set of parents could ever have imagined. Chloe finally lost it. She lunged at me, screaming, Ethan, you bastard! Delete that! I'm going to kill you! I was ready for her. I quickly put my phone away. Her dad, utterly enraged, slapped her hard across the face. You disgraceful girl! How could you do something so shameless? Tell me, who is that burnout? Her mom collapsed onto the floor, sobbing as if her world had ended. Chloe completely snapped. She bolted into our kitchen, grabbed a butcher knife, and held it to her own throat. This is a nightmare, her mom shrieked, trying to move toward her, but Chloe brandished the knife. Fine, Chloe screamed. The baby isn't Ethan's, it's Wyatt's. Wyatt and I are in love. If you dare try to break us up, I'll kill myself right here, right now. At the end of the day, she was their daughter. As furious as they were, they had to back down. They couldn't just stand by and watch her die. After a long, tense negotiation, her parents finally managed to coax the knife away from her. They left in shame, without a single word of apology. The side character is just trying to push the heroine to her death. He's so evil. He's doing everything he can to break up the main couple. Side character, you're just a plot device. You're supposed to be obsessed with the heroine. Why are you fighting her at every turn? This is so frustrating. How did the plot get so derailed? Honestly, the heroine is the toxic one, constantly blaming the side character for everything. She has no morals. What did the side character do wrong? Why should he have to take the fall for the main couple all the time? The heroine's behavior is disgusting and destroys any sympathy for her. A small smile touched my lips. The captions weren't all against me anymore. My parents were furious, declaring that they were cutting off all contact with the Vance family for good. One day after school, Chloe blocked my path. Ethan, I know you like me. I'm willing to give you a chance to win me over. My parents and Wyatt both want me to get an abortion. But this baby is a product of our love. I want to keep it. I was genuinely confused. So, she said it like it was the most obvious thing in the world. So, you can claim the baby is yours and raise it. I'll let you be the godfather." I stared at her as if she were insane. "Chloe, if you have a problem with your brain, go see a doctor. Stop coming to me with your disgusting proposals." Her face flushed with anger. "Ethan, stop pretending. You're the obsessive, villainous side character who's madly in love with me. You're just a plot device. Aren't you supposed to simp for me for the rest of your life? This whole act is getting really old. A heroine, more like a complete idiot." And I was just as pathetic for having been so captivated by her pretty face for so long. I grabbed the front of her shirt. "Chloe," I warned, my voice low and vicious. "What makes you think a washed-up piece of trash like you is anything I could possibly want?" I yelled right in her face. "Get out of my sight. Get as far away from me as you possibly can." Chloe had always been pretty, and she had to deal with unwanted attention her whole life. To protect her, I had taken Taekwondo for years. Even a punk like Wyatt would think twice before starting something with me. Seeing my genuine fury, Chloe looked scared. She ran off, shouting over her shoulder, "I gave you a chance, Ethan. You're the one who didn't take it. Don't come crying to me later, because I'll never speak to you again." The side character is so disgusting. He was given a chance and didn't appreciate it. How dare he treat our heroine like that? Oh well, this heroine is a moron. If I ever met someone like her, I'd slap her in it next week. This adaptation is pretty intense. I'm actually curious to see what kind of ending the heroine gets with the burnout. What do you people know? Is it wrong for the heroine to love the hero? Is it wrong for her to want to keep the proof of their love? For the next few weeks, Chloe was gone. She didn't even come to school. My mom told me she'd had the abortion and was recovering at home. I had no desire to hear any more about her. College applications were due soon. I needed to work harder than ever. That weekend, I was out for a late-night run when I heard Wyatt's voice coming from a dark alley. He was on his knees, his face bruised and swollen, groveling like a dog in front of several tough-looking men covered in tattoos. "Crow man, please stop. You're gonna kill me. I swear. I didn't know Mimi was your girl. If I had known, you could have given me 1,000 guts, and I still wouldn't have touched her." The leader, a man they called Crow, slapped him hard across the face. "Dumbass. Everyone knows Mimi is my girl. Now you got her pregnant. How am I supposed to look my crew in the eye? Boys, finish this piece of crap." Wyatt was on the verge of tears. "Wait," he yelped. "Crow, I can make it up to you. My girlfriend is the queen bee of Northgate High. She's 100 times hotter than Mimi. Crow, just let me go, and I'll bring her to your bed tomorrow. I promise, you won't be disappointed." He pulled out his phone and showed Crow a picture of Chloe. Crow's eyes lit up. He exchanged a look with his men, and they all shared the same lecherous grin. "I swear, man, she's the real deal," Wyatt pleaded. "And she's wild. You guys can do whatever you want with her." He swore up and down that he would deliver her the next day. "You better not be playing me, you little punk," Crow growled, "or I'll kill you." With that, they finally let him go. The next morning, as I was leaving for school, I ran into Chloe at the entrance to our neighborhood. She was dressed provocatively, her makeup heavy. She gave me a scornful look. "Ethan, I hear your grades are getting even better. What's the point of all that studying? You'll just end up as a corporate slave anyway." But not me. Wyatt is introducing me to a real big shot today. From now on, Wyatt and I will be protected. We're going to be living the high life, with more money than we can spend. I couldn't help but smile. "Well, congratulations in advance." She tilted her chin up, looking down her nose at me. "You should be respectful when you see me from now on." With that, she turned and teetered away on her high heels. I watched as the captions in front of me exploded. "Heroine, no. Don't go. The hero is going to serve you up as a gift to someone else." I can't believe the hero is the most disgusting one of all. If she goes, her life is over. That burnout is a monster. He's literally pushing the heroine into a pit of fire. He's human garbage. I can't believe I actually rooted for the hero. I never thought he was this kind of person. Ugh, I'm so mad. Neither of the main characters are any good. They deserve each other. The side character is the real angel here. I'm a fan now. I heard Chloe mutter under her breath. "What stupid captions. My Wyatt would never do that to me. He's the best person to me in the whole world." The next day, Chloe's story was all over the local news. I saw on a phone someone had snuck into class. Apparently, Chloe had been gang raped in a seedy motel on the edge of town. If the motel owner hadn't gone up to collect the room fee, she would have died in there. She was barely conscious and the bed was soaked in blood. The owner immediately called 911. Chloe had suffered a uterine hemorrhage. Although the doctors saved her, she would never be able to have children. The whole class was in an uproar. This is insane. Is this really the same innocent queen bee of Northgate High? Damn, I actually asked her out once. I still remember how she always used to wear those white floral dresses. She seemed so pure and pretty. But now, ugh, she's just dirty. Hey, serve her right. Look what happens when you fall for a burnout with a muscle car. A few girls who had previously idolized her style now looked down at their desks in shame. The rumor is that Wyatt got Crow's girl pregnant, so he had to hand Chloe over to save himself. Chloe is so blind. She had our Ethan, a top student who was so good to her, and she threw him away for a lowlife punk like that. When I got home, my mom was still processing the news. Ethan, I used to hope that you and Chloe would end up together. I never imagined she was that kind of person. Thank God you two didn't work out. It would have ruined your entire life. I heard that Crow and his gang have been arrested, but that Wyatt guy is nowhere to be found. Now Mr. and Mrs. Vance can't even show their faces in the neighborhood. To have a daughter like that. What tragedy. As we were eating dinner, Chloe's mom showed up at her door. Her eyes were red and swollen. She hesitated for a long moment before speaking. Chloe's awake now. She keeps asking to see Ethan. My mom immediately stepped in front of me. Mrs. Vance, you have some nerve. Have you already forgotten how your family slandered my son? You never even apologized, and now you have the audacity to ask Ethan to go see her. Unbelievable. I ignored Chloe's mother's pleading expression and kept eating. Then, she dropped to her knees. Ethan, we were wrong. Your aunt and uncle misunderstood you. We are so sorry. I'm begging you, please go see Chloe, she sobbed. If you don't go, she's refusing treatment. She's the only daughter I have. She broke down into loud, desperate wails. My parents were at a loss. They had been neighbors for decades, and their families had once been close. With her kneeling on our floor, they couldn't bring themselves to say anything harsher. They both looked at me, leaving the decision in my hands. I finished the last bite of rice in my bowl and set down my chopsticks. Fine, I said. I'll go see her. She was already half dead. It's not like she could do anything to me now. Chloe was lying in the hospital bed, her face as pale as a sheet of paper. When she saw me, her expression was complicated. You came. I gave a slight nod and sat down in the chair beside her bed. Ethan, I'm so sorry. For everything. Ever since we were kids. I always took your kindness for granted, and I hurt you again and again. Remember that antique vase your family had? I broke it when we were little. Without a second thought, I blamed you. Your dad beat you so badly, but you never told on me. I just thought you were so stupid. After that, I got used to you taking the fall for me. It's only now that I finally realize you're the only one who was ever truly good to me. Her voice cracked, and she grabbed my hand, tears streaming down her face. Ethan, I regret everything. I know you still like me. Wyatt, he's a monster. You're all I have left. You won't abandon me, right? The long-absent captions flickered back into view. Wow, this is messed up. I never imagined the main characters would be this toxic. My eyes are burning. The heroine completely deserves what she got. Poor side character. He's not actually going to agree to take her back, is he? The hero is a monster. The heroine is a psycho. They're both disgusting. I can't believe I used to like them. I want to slap my past self. The hero is worse than an animal. He's just human scum. What do you people know? No matter what the heroine does wrong, shouldn't the side character unconditionally forgive her? Exactly. The fact that the heroine is willing to come back to him is a blessing he should be grateful for. He should be on his knees, kissing her feet. Side character, don't do it. Stay as far away from this psycho as you can. So that was her game. An apology and a trip down memory lane, all to manipulate me. I violently yanked my hand away. Chloe, do you really think I'm that much of a fool? I snapped. You know exactly what kind of person you are, don't you? Don't you dare try to disgust me. The fact that I even showed up here is the last bit of decency you'll ever get from me. Chloe's face turned ashen with rage. Ethan, that day in the school parking lot, the first time I was going to motel with Wyatt. Why didn't you stop me? It's your fault I ended up like this. Don't you have any responsibility in this at all? Her twisted logic was so absurd, I had to laugh. Chloe, you made your own decision. Why should I take the blame for it? You brought this on yourself, didn't you? Her face twisted, a crazed look in her eyes. This isn't how it was supposed to go. You were definitely going to stop me. Her eyes suddenly widened as she stared at me. Ethan, you can see these captions too, can't you? You didn't stop me because of them, didn't you? I froze. I never imagined she could see them too. I didn't deny it. Yes, I can see them. And if I had stopped you back then, my entire family would have ended up dead at your hands. Why in the world would I have ever tried to stop you? You got what you deserved. You have no one to blame but yourself. The captions went wild again. No wonder the plot went completely off the rails. Both the heroine and the side character can see the comments. The heroine totally had it coming. I remember we all tried to warn her when she was going to meet Crow. She went anyway. Who could she blame for what happened? You can't reason with someone who's determined to die. The side character was the smart one. He listened. I'm officially a fan. Chloe finally broke, screaming at the top of her lungs. You damn captions. Go to hell, all of you, just die. It's so loud. She kept screaming as doctors and nurses rushed into the room. I had no reason to stay any longer. I turned and walked away. Graduation came and went. My final exam scores put me at third in our entire graduating class, earning me a spot at Yale. My parents were ecstatic. The day my acceptance letter arrived, they threw me a huge party at the best hotel in the city. All our friends and family were there, showering me with congratulations. All this time, I had been keeping a close eye on the captions, warily tracking Chloe's movements. I wasn't about to let that psycho ruin everything at the last minute. Luckily, according to the information from the floating text, after Chloe was discharged from the hospital, she had been relentlessly searching for Wyatt. She finally found him in his family's old rural hometown. She didn't confront him directly. Instead, she waited until the middle of the night, when his family was fast asleep, and set their house on fire. As the flames roared into the night sky, Chloe's laughter echoed, wild and unhinged. Ha ha, dee. Then, with one final leap, she threw herself into the inferno. I felt no sadness, only a profound sense of relief. 2 months later, I took my Yale acceptance letter and headed for the life I'd earned. My own beautiful life was just beginning,